right, so we're going to go ahead and do the first day of rotations. And so our I can statement is I can apply a rotation to a shape by using trace paper. And so that's our I can statement for today, and that's what we're looking at. We're going to be able, so we've been doing translation and reflection. So now we're going to be looking at rotation and what a rotation actually means. So our rotation, if we look at here, is a turn. So we're going to be turning our shape somehow to go ahead and make it so it's turned on either the grid or where it actually is. So let's go ahead, let's fill in some of our notes as far as how to go ahead and do it. It says so a rotation, transformation in which the pre-image is rotated around a certain point. So remember, we do need to have a point to go ahead and do a rotation. There's some other stuff that we need to do also. If no direction is specified, the direction for the rotation is counterclockwise. And this will make a little bit more sense once we start kind of doing some stuff. Okay, so if there is no direction specified, it will always be counterclockwise. A rotation of 90 degrees is what is considered a fourth of a turn, and I'll show that in a second. A rotation of 180 degrees is a half a turn, and a rotation of 270 degrees is 3/4 of a turn. So again, we'll be going over this a little bit later. So number one, let's go ahead and do it. So first of all, we need to trace the shape being rotated on the patty paper. And then we're also going to draw the entire X and Y axis on the patty paper. We're going to put our pencil on the center point of rotation and then turn the patty paper to the designated number of degrees. You can tell whether you have gone exactly a fourth of a turn or 3/4 of a turn when the axis you drew changes from horizontal to vertical or vertical to horizontal. So a half a turn, the axis will go back to being exactly the same direction as before. The positions of what you see on the patty paper is where the new image is to be. And then we're going to transfer the vertices, remember vertices are points, of your shape carefully to the original graph grid, either by carefully lifting the parts of the patty paper and marking it underneath, or poking holes, small holes through the patty paper onto the original grid. And the small, making the holes kind of makes it a little bit hard. So just kind of remember that. So now let's look down here at example number one. It says, example number one, we're going to rotate triangle ABC 90 degrees clockwise around the point 1, 1. And so if you look at it, we would copy the image. So again, we would use patty paper, right? And we would go ahead and we would trace that picture. So we have our X and Y axis. In fact, actually, I'm just going to do, well, yeah, we'll do it. So this is our Y, this is our X. Here is our triangle ABC. And then they want us to turn it at 0, 0. That's this point here. So notice how we have it, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn it 90 degrees. That's a fourth of a turn. A fourth of a turn is, oops, let's go back. So notice how my Y becomes my X and my X becomes my Y. and it would actually be like this. So that's what this bottom picture is saying, is I took this, I turned it so that this line, instead of going up and down, it's now going to go side to side. And it's here. So then this really dark one is actually our image, or our new one. So it says put the pencil, so copy that onto patty paper, put the pencil at 0,0 and turn the patty paper 1/4 turn clockwise. You're going to lift or punch through the paper to mark the A prime, B prime, C prime, because that's the image of the original grid, and then draw the new triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. So that's what actually happened here. Let's try it one more time. So example number 2. So we're going to rotate triangle ABC 180 degrees clockwise around the point 1, -1. And so we have it as, so kind of remind ourselves, we are doing it clockwise or counterclockwise. Oh, I forgot to talk about clockwise and counterclockwise. So if we look at a clock, like a normal, like non-digital clock, clockwise is, if you look at it, always goes to the right. That is clockwise. And then counterclockwise, of course, goes the other way. So that's why last time I turned it to the right, is because we went clockwise. So if we look at it here, again, I have my line. I have my triangle A, B, and C. And we're using the point 1, -1, so 1, -1. And it's going to be 180 degrees. So that's pretty much a half a turn. So that's a 1/4 of a turn. And this is half of a turn. And notice how our bottom picture shows what we have up here. So this line, instead of going side to side like before, it goes and it turns all the way around because it's 180 degrees and puts this picture down on the bottom. So again, it says to copy the image onto the patty paper, which I did. I put my pencil at -1, -1. I turned it a half a turn clockwise, which is to the right. I lifted it up, and then I went ahead and drew it. So let's go ahead and let's, so that's kind of everything. Let's kind of put stuff together, and let's identify the transformations. So this transformation here, is it being translated or slid? No. Is it being turned or rotated? No. Is it being reflected of each other? Yes. This is our reflection. This one here, is it being slid as far as a translation? No. Is it being reflected like a mirror? No. Is it being turned? Yes. This is a rotation. This one here, is it being slid over to make this one? Well, yeah. Is it being turned? No. Is it reflected like a mirror back and forth? No. So this is a translation. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's turn to the back side and let's go through this and figure out what we are doing. So first of all, we have to plot these points. So I'm going to plot the point +2, -2. This is my A. +4, -1. Here's my B. At 4, -3 over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 3, 1, 2, 3. Here's my C. And then I have 2, -4, so over 2, -4, 1, 2, 3, 4 is my D. So we're taking this picture, and then it says that we want to go ahead and turn it 90 degrees counterclockwise, and then about the origin. So when we do a rotation, we have to have a point, which way we're turning it, and how far we're going to turn it. So 0, 0 is the origin. So remember, origin is 0, 0. We're going to have it there, okay? And then again, I'm going to take my patty paper. I'm going to trace this picture. Let's do it this way. So I have my A, B, and C. And D. And I'm going to draw my axis up and down, and I'm doing 90 degrees, so that's a fourth of a turn. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to turn it fourth of a turn. So notice how that line, my y-axis, now goes side to side. And then this is my new picture. This is my image. So B is here. So notice how I like to take mine, and I just like to lift my patty paper. So this is my B prime. A's there, so this is my A prime. D. So I don't like to move my paper, I just like to lift it. Here's my D prime. And C. Here is my C prime. So now this is my new image. This is my new picture that has been rotated clockwise 90 degrees. But am I supposed to go clockwise? Dang it, I did it counterclockwise. So let's try one more time. Sorry about that. I didn't read it correctly. Counterclockwise. So this is what I like to do. Said I forgot to teach myself. Okay, counterclockwise is to the left. So that was if it was clockwise. Let's try it one more time. All right, I have everything traced. Putting my point at my pencil at 0, 0. I'm going to do a fourth of a turn. Again, it's going to go notice how this axis that I had on my trace paper, notice how that is now going side to side instead of straight up and down. And then this is my new picture. So here is, so D prime goes here, C prime is here, B prime is up there, and A prime is there. This looks much better. This is counterclockwise. This is the one we want. So notice how it's kind of turned. And again, counterclockwise is to the left, counterclockwise left. Awesome. This time I did it correctly. All right, let's look at number 5. All right, so number 5, and again, I like to go ahead and I like to kind of highlight my stuff. So I have 180 degrees. My pencil's going to go at 0, 0, that's the origin. And notice how it doesn't have any specification. It doesn't say counterclockwise or clockwise. So remember, on the back side, on the other side, it says if there is no direction, it's always counterclockwise. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to go counterclockwise. Okay, remind myself it's going to be to the left. But first of all, we have to plot our points. So F is 1, 2 over 1 up 2. Here is F. G is 3, 3, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's G. And then H is 3, 2. So we have this triangle here, and we are turning it 180 degrees, so that's a half of a turn, and we're doing it counterclockwise, which is to the left. So again, we're going to take our trace paper. I'm going to draw the y-axis on there, so it kind of help me out. So I'm going to have F, G, and H. I'm going to put my pencil at 0, 0, and I'm going to do a half a turn, so it's going to be 180. A fourth of a turn is here. Half of a turn is here. So notice how my y-axis is actually back and forth, up and down, but the picture is way over here. If it would have been just a fourth of a turn would just have been that it's going side to side. We want this going up and down. So now this is my new picture. So we have it as, I have my F prime is here, my H prime is here, and G prime is down here. And then I draw them together, and then there is my picture. All right, so let's go ahead and let's look at number 6. So I'm looking at J. J is -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, +1. K is -2, 1, so 1, 2, +1, K. And L is -4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and -3, 1, 2, 3. And that is L. So here is my triangle. And we are 90 degrees clockwise. Center point is -4, -1, -4. So clockwise, again, is to the right. 90 degrees is a fourth of a turn. And so it's going to be -1, -4. So we're going to trace our paper. We're going to have our trace paper. I like to put my y-axis on there. I'm going to draw my J, K, and L triangle. And I have -1, 1, 2, 3. So again, I want to go ahead and have it as our center point is -1, -4. So -1, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my center point of rotation. I'm going to put my pencil there. I am doing a fourth of turn, so that means this y-axis that I have on my trace paper, you can kind of see it. I want to make it so that it goes side to side. And then we're turning it to the right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn it. We're making it go side to side now. So notice how that axis is way down here. It's now going side to side. And then this is my new picture. So let's go ahead and draw that new picture. So K is it here? What about J? Oh, sorry, K prime, J prime, and L prime. So then this would be my new picture. All right, so number 7. So we have P is -3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's P. Then we have Q is -1, +4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is Q. R is -2, -1. That is R. And then we have -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is S. So this is our picture. They want us to do 180 degrees. Center is 2, 2. And remember, it doesn't have which way. And if it never has which way, it's always counterclockwise. And this is a half of a turn. So again, I'm going to take my trace paper. I'm going to go ahead. Here's R, S, P, Q. My center point is 2, 2, so over 2, up 2. This is where I put my, I need my axis. Okay. This is where I'm going to put my point as 2, 2. I'm going to watch this axis on my trace paper. Here is a fourth of a turn. And notice how this axis came up here and went side to side. But I need half of a turn. And I need to watch that axis and go up and down. And so the up and down, so notice how it's now up and down. I'm going to put P, so P prime. Let's see, S. So make sure you keep your finger on there. S prime. R prime. And Q prime. Okay, so then here is our new picture. If we've been rotated 180 degrees, center point is 2, 2. All right, so this is what we are doing for today. is we're turning it, so this would have been 2 and then 180. So 90 degrees is where we make it side to side. 180 is where we make that line up and down. So again, this is rotation, and I hope you have a good day. Thanks.